I'm Angie.
I'm Michelle.
Blue heavens. We are sisters who channel ancient and divine beings from two councils of thought. Lazarus is a divine counsel, and Lucian represents our shadows within the illusion. They teach us how to be better people, leading to better lives, and we hope to teach you how to live your best life, how you can communicate with God and just do this yourself and have a happy, good old life, man. Let's heal some stuff. Let's be good. Today we're going to talk about the parable of the prodigal son or the lost son.
Yeah, absolutely. This is Locaeus.
Okay.
And this is a good one because this can apply it to today's, taking a parable and doing it from when Jesus told it. Every parable Jesus told was to give shock value. So you would pay attention, listen, and take something from. See, the story that we're going to be doing, you have to remember when he told this story of the parable, it would have been everybody sitting there going, oh, wow, this is terrible, and expecting it's like something totally different. But the lesson, and he never gives you what to do. This was a parable. He never tells you how it should end, and people probably wondered. So this one is a beautiful one, and I'm glad we chose to do this one, Angela. I love this one.
And we've done a video on this, but we did it when it's on YouTube. I can put it in the comments, but it was more on my spiritual awakening and that celebration, how I was the lost son being celebrated. But what we're doing here today is different. We're doing it differently because it has so many different ways of looking at it that we can learn from. But I think the way we're teaching it today is what's relevant for some of the problems we have against one another today. Absolutely. And Jennifer Wallace says hi. Hello, Jennifer. Hi. It's your Bob Evans friend?
Yeah, she's the Bob Evans lady. She's so sweet.
Hello, Bob Evans friend.
And I'm okay, as I'm the one that kept trying to talk to her. I wanted to talk to her so bad, but Michelle said, get back. So it's me. It's just me. Yeah. I wanted to talk to her. She was so sweet. I wanted to come out to say hi. Michelle's like, stop it.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens, yeah. Once I start talking, it's like, blah, blah, blah. So yeah.
Oh, and Mandy's here. She says hello. Hello, Mandy.
Hi, Mandy. How are you? Yay.
So I guess at the end of this, if you guys are still here, we can do readings. I brought cards with me.
Yeah, she's got the card. We already pulled a card.
Okay.
I pulled a card already. Someone told me to pull a card. So we pulled a card.
Perfect. So I guess I will start with, I'm going to read this parable through the book called The Message. It's like an updated version of our Bible, and it's really, really cool. So I'm going to read it. So just bear with us. Let's go. Okay, the story of the lost son. There was once a man who had two sons. The younger said to his father, "Father, I want right now what's coming to me." So the father divided the property between them. It wasn't long before the younger son packed his bags and left for a distant country. There, undisciplined and dissipated, he wasted everything he had. After he had gone through all his money, there was a bad famine all through the country, and he began to feel it. He signed on with a citizen there who assigned him to his fields to slop the pigs. He was so hungry he would have eaten the corn cobs and the pig slop, but no one would let him have any. That brought him to his senses. He said, all those farmhands working for my father sit down to 3 meals a day, and here I am starving to death. I'm going back to my father. I'll say to him, Father, I've sinned against God. I've sinned before you. I don't deserve to be called your son. Take me on as a hired hand. He got up and he went home to his father. When he was still a long way off, his father saw him. His heart pounding, he ran out, embraced him, and kissed him. The son started his speech. Father, I've sinned against God. I've sinned before you. I don't deserve to be called your son ever again. But the father wasn't listening. He was calling to his servants, quick, bring a clean set of clothes and dress him. Put the family ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Then get the prize-winning heifer and roast it. We're going to feast. We're going to have a wonderful time. My son is here, given up for dead and now alive, given up for lost, but now he's found. And they began to have a wonderful time. All this time, his older son was out in the field. When the day's work was done, he came in and he approached the house. He heard the music and dancing. Calling over one of the houseboys, he asked, what's going on? He told him, your brother came home. Your father's ordered a feast, barbecued beef, because he has him home safe and sound. The older brother stomped off in an angry sulk and refused to join in. His father came out and tried to talk to him, but he just wouldn't listen. The son said, "Look how many years I've stayed here serving you, never giving you one moment of grief. But have you ever thrown a party for me and my friends? Then this son of yours who has thrown away your money on horrors shows up and you go all out with a feast?" His father said, "Son, you don't understand. You're with me all the time and everything that is mine is yours, but this is a wonderful time and we had to celebrate. The brother of yours was dead and he's alive. He was lost and he's found." There's so much going on there. So let's start with the son that leaves.
Right.
This lost son. I know I was this lost son. I read in one of the religious texts that if you grow up in a spiritual household, that you have been bestowed a blessing in that life because you're just going to have a better experience, right? You are rooted in God. Some of us don't have that. We're not rooted there. So we already start different. But it doesn't matter. I left, right? So I went and I ventured out into what does this world have to give me? It is hard out there. You get very hurt out there. I've been nervous to do this one because it hurts me so much. It hurts me so much as the lost son to see how angry my older brothers and sisters are with me that I've returned. God has given me blessings because I've returned, because he knows what I went through out there. My older brothers and sisters don't know. They don't know what it's like out there because you've been sheltered from it, because you chose better than me. I get that, but have some compassion. God wants us to unharden our hearts. He wants us to celebrate this lost son with him. So what does Spirit have to say about this lost son? I need a little step away.
Oh, no problem. Solo cares. Well, everybody is on their own journey. Now, I cannot, you mentioned, I do want to make some corrections. I will always do that.
Please.
Now, you did say if you're born in the spiritual, you are more blessed. Not really. Sometimes you can have it in front of you and not understand what you have within you. Maybe you're born into a family that has it, but this isn't something you grow up rejecting it, or you grow up finding a different way. So not always. Sometimes it just depends on the person and that. So we can't judge. That's judging everybody as a general whole. So I don't want to do that first in that. So you're talking about the youngest son. Now, the youngest son is talking about the people that are lost. So Jesus is saying there's a lot of people broken and out there and they're lost and they're trying to find their way back home. You know, they're finding their way back to God, to Jesus, maybe to their moms or dads, whomever. They're trying to find their way back, but they don't really know how to do that. You said it's like one of the worst feelings. You know, you've made so many mistakes. You don't deserve a celebration. You don't deserve anything, but yet you're humbly taken back. But you're taking full responsibility of your actions, though. You're taking full responsibility. So basically it's going back to God. You're saying to God, look, I messed up. Like, you can't imagine how many different times I have messed up, and he will take you every single time, and you will have a celebration. You had a celebration. You heard a celebration. So he always gives you that. The youngest son had that celebration. He had to feel that. I mean, he had to have felt so down. I mean, everything. But he was thinking, the youngest son is probably very spoiled, probably, so if we're going to go by the parable itself, he's very spoiled. It's okay. I want, because Jesus is going for shock value when he's telling this story, but how many people stray away? So he's trying to say the youngest son represents people that just do their own thing without God. Well, I want to go do this because I don't need God. I want to go do this, whatever it is that you decide to do that is not under God's watch, and you're just doing this on your own human flesh to do. And, things are going to happen if you don't have God with you, as the younger son is saying. When he goes back to his father, so basically when we go away from God, we are exploring our past, which he's actually okay with, Angela. And I don't ever want you to beat yourself up for this. Because he wants you to find your way back to him, however you find your way back. It's not a big thing. You can do whatever, and he'll always take you back. So don't ever think, when you talk about and it was a heart, don't ever, I don't want you to think that, because He doesn't look at you like that. He loved you when you were doing whatever. It was just you had to get out of your system, whatever was in your system, and that's okay. Everybody does this, but that's what he is saying. And he took you back, celebrated that. Beautiful, you came back. So that's what it is when we leave God, we go do our own thing, and he's still waiting for us. It's a really hard thing for him, but he waits for us. And then when you come back, you're coming back, but you're back. You're not going because you know exactly what's going to happen on the other side there. You know what's going to happen. So the younger son is this, when we stray, we come back, we're accepted back. But we're also, we can teach others. If somebody else wants to go do this, we can teach as the younger brother. We don't need to do this, because this is what happened to me. And be a little bit more nice. Don't be, well, I want to go out. If you want to experiment, great, go do whatever, but you're going to fall into the consequences. There's always consequences and actions for everything.
Absolutely.
That's what the younger brother, and that's what he was trying to say. The Father always takes you back. That's why Jesus came. He came to take the broken and the sinners. He wasn't there to teach more of the Pharisees and the law. He was there to teach everybody. He was there for everybody. He wasn't just for the law and just for that. He was there for everybody. But the Pharisees always thought, well, it's for me because I'm always whatever. But he was trying to indicate the younger brother is kind of what the audience is there for him, as well as basically what he was targeting. The Father's taking that younger brother and embracing him.
Yeah.
And running back to him. Not only just waiting like that, running to them. Running. That's to signify running. That's so loving. That's what.
Again, like in our video on YouTube, we talk about how old distinguished men didn't run, and they didn't run to people that disrespected them. So he was like breaking a lot of like society rules right there in this parable, right?
Because because you got to remember, he left the village, he disrespected the family, and then when he would have came back, they would have wanted to stone him as he walked in the village. So the dad would have had to have run down to get him, because if you think about it, the villagers will come grab him or whatever, because he disrespected the family, he disrespected the village. So they would have tried to stone him. So he would have had to have run out to get him, to protect him and say, whoa, 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 I'm taking him back. So yeah, that's how things work. But and they don't do that. And putting the signet ring is saying you're part of my family. The best robes. Basically, you never left. You're my son, you've always been my son, but here for you to know, because the Father always knew that was his son, but the son had to know. Yeah. Do you really accept me? Or are you just saying a bunch of this? And that's not what it was going on. He was saying, hey, you are my son. And that's what Jesus does for us. He gives us things, when I say that, is so your part. When miracles happen and these wonderful, beautiful things happen, synchronicities like with Jennifer, that was a total synchronicity. Well, can I tell that real fast while we're on this so she can hear this?
Absolutely.
So we had, well, I'm in her body, but I just say but we had left church. We crossed roads and we had gone and we drove down to trying to remember Cracker Barrel. It was 45-minute wait. So then we went to Texas Roadhouse, 45-minute wait. So Bob Evans, her daughter Laura, just said, hey, how about we just go to Bob Evans? So that's when we went to Bob Evans, and we got sat at her table. And the whole time, me and Loki were just like, we gotta talk to her. We gotta talk to her. Michelle says, well, I don't want to come off creepy here, so, but we loved her jewelry. She had the jewelry. Oh my goodness, she had the jewelry. And so that's what happened. And then finally, Michelle said, I love your necklace, because we were admiring the jewelry. And so that whole conversation. So they were looking out for her. Everything was meant to happen for her. So she was needing a spiritual awakening advice. And it was perfect. This is what you girls do. And she seemed so shocked. This was so divine. So that's what he does. That's an example. And when you're looking for help, you follow, that's what happens, like the younger son. So he basically was putting a ring on her finger, saying, I got you.
Yeah.
Got you. You're good.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So let's get into the older brother real quick.
All right.
So the older brother stays. So he's spared from a lot of these experiences that the lost son experiences. So I printed out, God says he's Alpha and Omega, right? So we have different frequencies of experiences here. So it goes from shame to enlightenment. So right. The oldest son doesn't experience a lot of this stuff down here. You know, he doesn't have to deal with fear, guilt, shame. He's spared a lot of those things, but he's also missing out on the blessings of having experienced those things, because now the older son has a hard heart. He's not excited to see his lost brother. It was all about him and his selfishness. And I think sadly a lot of people are there. They are in this, where's mine? Like, where's my bonus? You miss out on, you've been blessed that whole time. And just, why can't you see how awesome it is that your father would do that? He'd do that for you. Wouldn't you want that? We have a Bible study friend, and I want to read what because we did a teaching on this. Well, we did a Bible plan study on the prodigal son, and I love what she put, so I wanted to read it. She said, I do remember struggling with this parable when I was younger because I was always the rule follower. So it upset me that the younger brother didn't deserve all that love from his father without some consequence. Then as I matured, I realized that this is the mercy that I want to be shown when I go astray, and I need to show that mercy to others. Now I look at the older brother as the one who is blind to the fact that he was always surrounded by his father's love and never knew how to appreciate it and be grateful for his unconditional love. That's how great the Father's mercy is for us, and I'm blessed to know it is always there for me.
Right.
Love that. So if we are this son that stayed, that change and have that perspective. What if this lost son was your kid? Are you going to celebrate your kid that comes back that you thought was dead and was lost and now it's alive and found? Are you going to celebrate them? Of course you are. Of course you are. It's only as this brother and sister that we become like in a competition with one another. And there is no competition, because we are all on very different journeys, and we're on different journeys on purpose. We're building different things, learning different lessons. That's why we shouldn't be judging what other people are doing, because they're doing it for a purpose. They're learning something through that. Even if it's hard, there's something to learn in that. But if we are this hard-hearted being, it is time to see we are that in the illusion. That's not who we really are. That's cheating us. We are cheating ourselves with having this type of selfish perspective. What do you guys have to say about it?
Well, this is Marcus.
Hello, Marcus. Perfect.
Yeah, and well, what I can get out of the older brother, and this is actually very common, is the older brother, but I would like to add, he is very angry. He shows a lot of fear. This is somebody that's not comfortable within themselves, within their heart. That because if he was comfortable within himself, that his brother coming back, he would just have done like, okay, my brother's back, and celebrated. But instead, he has a lot of fear and anger, resentment. And it was how he was perceiving the love. Like maybe it was supposed to be given, like, you are my father, you are supposed to love me, you are supposed to give me things, and just took it all for granted and never thanked him, was never grateful for it. I think a lot of children grow up like that. You know, as children, you grow up. And I'm not saying every child, I'm just saying they grow up just expecting, like, this is what it's supposed to be. Yeah. But it's not. You know, there's other, because you haven't been in the world, so you don't know what it is. And then when they go out into the world, they see things a lot differently. They don't see it how they did. So the older son, he didn't experience what his younger brother did, because he wanted to follow the rules, which for him, if that's what worked for him, but he was so set in his ways. He was so set in his ways, and he never appreciated his dad. And he even had a time, like with his father, like, this is everything I've done. But you never get, the father never says, well, son, do you remember we had to sit down and you banged the car up? And did you remember when you did? He never said that to the older son. He never kept account of all of that happened. The older brother was keeping track of everything. This is what great I am. But the dad never said and told him was false. Like, you know, well, this is what you did. He never did. All he wanted to do was realize, for his son to realize, you know, we're to work community. But he was probably confused on that as a father, like, what happened? Why would he feel this? Because he would have to feel the heart of this poor father. First, his one son goes and wants him dead. This one here just won't accept this son. So you feel bad for this father in that. So I feel really bad for this father, which I think people want you, you know, but but that's what the older brother signifies to me. Somebody that's just fearful and ego, very, very ego. When we don't drop our ego, this can happen. I think everybody in their life turns into an older brother, the younger, and the father. We all, I think you all humans, you go through every single one. When I was here, I went through every single stage of everything. And we know, that was mine, but I went through every single of that. And I can relate to every single, which is why Lucaeus brought me out. But yeah, the older brother, but that's a lot. So give people chances. Basically what he's saying, give people chances. Don't judge them. You don't know what they've been through. You've not walked a mile in their shoe, and you don't know what they've been through. And let's not judge them because they took a different path than you took a different, whatever choice that they made is up to them. What's what their choices were. Whatever choices you made is up to choice you. And we're not here to judge everybody. We're not here to judge. We're here to help everybody. We don't look at their backgrounds. We don't do that. We're here to help you achieve the greatness. If you're in the greatness mode, great. We'll take that greatness mode and help somebody else get to their greatness mode. And then you take that, and that's what we're supposed to do, Angela. That's what we're supposed to do. And that's what everybody, and once we hit that, we take everybody up the mountain with us. We don't leave no one behind. And that's what Jesus is trying to do. Leave no one behind. We take everybody with us.
Absolutely. Destiny said the fear of receiving less love because of his brother's return and lack mentality, that there isn't enough love. Absolutely. And God is abundant. This Father is abundant. Let's talk about the Father more. So this Father, he's abundant. He can take care of everybody. There's enough of him to go around. He has a personal, intimate relationship with every one of us. He doesn't love one of us more than the other. He doesn't have a favorite. He is there to help all of us have a better experience. And if we have a hard experience, he's there to comfort us.
Well, it's a lesson. You're supposed to go through hardship. This is so Marcus. You're supposed to go through hardships to learn your lessons. And so maybe what's a work for the older brother is not going to work for the younger brother. He's different. He has to go out and experience things to get to where the older brother could be without all the ego, without all of the other stuff. We all have to take our own journey. We all have to take it our own way, and we all will find God. But what he's also saying, we all find him. It just takes what time, and when we hit that pit, when is it time for us to go back? And then, at some point, the older brother's going to find that same pit, and he's going to want to be celebrated and have that mercy thrown on him like the younger brother had.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Destiny said, grow through what we go through and then help those still going through it. Absolutely.
Absolutely. We take everybody up the mountain with us. We don't leave nobody behind. Destiny has it, right? We don't leave nobody behind. Once we achieve it, then we teach others to achieve it as well. We just teach that. And then they can teach us as well, because we don't know, beings but but we still learn from humans. We're still learning but exactly, once you achieved it, whatever, and they can teach you as well what knowledge you have. Everybody's a mirror for somebody else, and everybody's teaching. It's always a teaching, and that's what's so beautiful about this realm, is a teaching, and this how God has everything, and that. So absolutely, once we take everybody else to the greatness as well. We take everybody up with us, and
we're all the same.
You are. You're all brothers and sisters. Like Jesus said, he didn't have all brothers and sisters, and that's true today. Because he was trying to signify we're all one. We're all one. We're not separate. We're all one.
And that's all over all the scriptures, all the religious texts. It all says we are one, and that we are to unify, and we are to get over being angry and mean and jealous, and we're supposed to be better. We're supposed to be Jesus. We're supposed to grow and evolve into that perfect being. Again, it's like unlearning Adam and returning to Jesus.
Well, if you remember, Krishna, the Bhagavad Gita, it's the same thing. That's the same lesson I'm teaching as well, how to take that ego and just, you do that. Because, all the spiritual leaders that come through, whether Jesus, Sri Krishna, Buddha, there's so many wonderful that have come forth. That's been the message. We're all one. Let's take our knowledge and let's take everybody with us. That's not, separate and judge in that. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to take everybody with us and love everybody and just embrace them. And wherever they are in their life, that's where we meet them, and we take, because that's how we would want somebody to come to us as well, to be met and that. Because I've had times when I was in this realm, I needed that, and because people thought, well, you are who you are. No, it doesn't matter who you are. You still need that social. Still need that love. If you don't feel that, so Jesus probably walking around, people. He needed that love as much as he was given that love. So absolutely that. But I'm glad that the message is coming across though, and that because I really feel the oldest son, the younger son, I think, but the oldest son always irks me, and always makes me a little, like you just didn't appreciate what your dad gave you. But so many people, they just don't appreciate. So he's a good example of that, and how we should, but we want mercy thrown on us, like, because he said, like I said, the older son will hit that rock bottom. His brother did it some way, somehow, but what he wanted his father to show that same mercy to him, as well as his younger brother, which should be a great example. No, my dad is so understanding that my dad will love me no matter what I do. He will always take me back, and that's how he should have seen it. And I should be welcoming my brother back. And being that brother, maybe he ran off because he wasn't a good brother to him. Maybe that should have been, hey, wake up. I should be there for him. I should be. So there has like multi-level, no matter how you want to look at this story.
Yeah. Great. Do we have anything else to say about the prodigal son?
Yeah, well, we haven't gone over the father yet.
Oh, I thought we just did that.
Oh, I was also on the oldest son. This is Lucaeus now.
Oh.
Well, maybe we did. I thought we didn't even go to the father yet.
Oh, I did.
Okay, well, I didn't then. I was still on the oldest brother.
Well, you can go to the father, then I'll drink some more water. I'm really thirsty.
Well, this is Lucaeus now. Marcus did that, so this is Lucaeus. So, well, I'm gonna bring Loki for this one. Loki's, how he gets louder and louder until it just happens. It's going to have to be him. Greetings. Okay, the father. So Marcus was totally confused. He was still on the oldest son. Thumbs up. You can tell he's not out of his hammock much. So the father, is a very loving. This father is loving. But it's showing, if you take the story and you just look at the father, and it just because he wants you to feel for the father. What is the father feeling? And if you notice in this parable, is he's wanting you to feel the heartbreak of the father. Like he really wants you to feel it. Like when Jesus told his parable, he was trying to do for shock value, to make it really, because if somebody tells a story and there's no shock value, you don't remember it, you don't get the lesson. He really wanted to hit them because he wanted them to associate the father to the father. He wanted them to associate.
Right.
So that is why he did it the way he did it, because he wanted you to think, and he never gave an ending because he wanted you to know the father will take you wherever you are, because that was really no ending. There was no, but you got to remember the disciples would not have understood, because back then, I'm not insulting, that's what ignorant, but they didn't get things like snappy here.
Yeah.
But the father's just to love you where you are at. Wherever you are, the father's there to help you wherever you are at. And that would be my view. So that was the parable. He was just trying to say, hey, wherever you are, he will come and he will embrace you. He will run to you no matter what. Whether you're the older son, the young, he will run to you and he will take it. And that is our view on, well, this is Lucian, but that would be their view as well. But I was going to knock Lucaeus out because I didn't have my time to talk. Marcus was on the wrong subject altogether, so might as well just be. Yeah, but he doesn't get out of his hammock much. He stays in this hammock and he just kind of once in a while, it's like, get out. But so some to save the day.
Good stuff. It's good stuff. Perfect.
It is.
Yeah, I'm thankful that after I had my spiritual awakening, I heard that celebration. I couldn't smell the price heifer, but like I felt celebrated. I had such a hard time. I was so sad. I wanted to die. And then I had that, and it has blew my little mind, and it has allowed me to fill myself with something different, like this spirit meter. I feel like we have like a little spirit meter within us, and most of it's empty.
Yeah.
It's like empty in most of us. But like if you have a spiritual awakening, it's like all of a sudden 10% is filled in your cup or something. You're like, whoa, loaded, what's that? Right. And then you have to like start building it. And we need to build spirit in our little spirit meters, guys.
And this is Rokeus.
In a mind, we're also like spirit. We got to fill that shit.
Well, this is Lokeus because Loki doesn't know anything about that kinds of stuff, you know. So we have to bring in the people that know about that because he's got like a little light. Yes, like the Grinch. So he brought me back. He says, I don't understand what you just said. So he just he goes, I'm out. So he exited out. So I'm announcing Lokeus. But the meter, it reminds me of the spinal tap that goes to 11. It goes to
it does go to 11.
It goes to 11. But yes, when you're going through a spiritual awakening, that's absolutely what it feels like. It's like a downgrade, and you're all like, it's just so much. It is so much information. When we started channeling, you know, it was almost like you could just tell your girls were like, what is this? Like you already thought your spiritual awakening was it. And then we come channeling through, and you're like, Michelle, I love this. She goes to you is, I feel there's somebody here, and I need you to talk to. I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you because you didn't have a clue. And I started talking to you, and you go, I remember you told her, it's okay. He's good. He's angelic. He's work, you know, so it was all right. And so and as you were ready, we give you more nuggets of information as well. So, but yeah, that spiritual awakening for everybody is different for everybody. It's not ever going to be the same. But what is the same is a download of information.
Yeah.
And it's just taking this information, like you girls had 13 months at mediumship of enchanted moments. Yes, love that place. Of course, I hide behind a tree because what is all of that? And I hide behind a tree. Long story.
It's a pretty short story.
It's a funny story because I'm like, what's all of this? You know, Loki goes, she saw you, quit it. That is when the girls started channeling, one of their teachers saw us, and I hid behind a tree, the wrong tree. And Loki was just like, are you stupid? She saw you. So, yeah. I don't think well in crisis. Well, I'm a being, I don't think well in crisis. I hide behind a realm tree. There you go. So poor Michelle has to put up with all of that, and Angie. So yeah, you guys, yeah. But spiritual awakening is different from everybody. And it's like when you get your gifts, and you notice the channeling happened after the mediumship. It was after you took your gifts and was able to fit them, mold them, you know, potter and fix it. Then all of that happens, and that because it all shows up different to everybody else. And you don't just have one, you have several in your lifetime. So there's never, but you get celebrated every single time, but you will feel your meter do this.
Yeah.
You know, like, whoop, you know, you feel it up to 11. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to sing some of those dirty songs. And it would like so embarrass our parents, but they still didn't really get it. I love that.
No, well, no, they did understand this is Loki. They did get the pink tornado, though. They did the torpedo.
Torpedo.
No, they understood that one because I heard.
Stop.
But you girls were singing it, so yeah.
Oh, Dawn's here. Hello, Dawn. How are you? So Jennifer said the awakening that she experienced, the only way she can explain it is the best divine euphoric experience she's ever had. And there's nothing in life that compares. Oh, absolutely. Nothing.
No.
It's so weird. And it's once you see it, it's like, how did I miss it? But you missed it because you just weren't looking for it. You were sad and no, I can't see it. But it's there. It's waiting for you to celebrate you anytime you want to look at it.
Absolutely. And she said she's got a beautiful Archangel Michael tattoo as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, because he's a great protector in general. And for that was when she said that was amazing and that. So, but yeah, absolutely. And that's what it feels, but it feels different to everybody. But it feels a fury. She basically summed it beautifully. Is that's what it would feel like to a human is, wow. Like you just feel like you're on the best whatever, and it's like wow. And it's just
I remember I like vibrated. I had different times that I vibrated with everything. Like I felt like so a part of everything, the trees, the wind, like all of it. I felt like I was all of that. I wasn't on drugs. I know somebody like, what drugs were you on? No drugs. It was just spirit. it messes you up, and because we're not this physical body, and it allows us to remember we're not this physical body, because we get so stuck in it. I see myself doing this. I look like a monkey in space or something, so I need to not do that. That's creeping me out. So I'll put my hands in my armpits like Mary Catherine Gallagher.
Put your arms, you know. Well, not because as beings, yeah, if a being was watching this right now, they'd be like, what is going on? So yeah. So I mean, because you gotta know they do see all of this stuff that you humans do, and we do laugh at you humans. So I'm just letting you know, you can laugh at beings, and we all do that at beings, but we all laugh at the humans as well. So it's just kind of it's okay,
Jennifer said, yeah, she felt connected.
You definitely do.
I felt connected, so connected. It was so weird. And I don't have a lot of those moments, but sometimes I have them on like Sundays. Like I get downloads on Sundays, and I'll feel that sometimes during it. Just feels so
You feel it. Well, Michelle, when she goes to church on the crossroads and they play the music, and she'll feel the download as she's standing. She'll feel the download, because you got to remember, when we go to church, that is my I love it. I'm there jamming, and I embarrass everybody around. I don't care. And it's in her body as well. I mean, they're saying, and it was funny, but it's like the first day was a couple weeks ago. So it was funny. So the music director says, so if you see people doing this and that, it's just okay. Let them be in their own area and let them own whatever they do. And everybody's looking at her because they know I'm going to go wild. And I did. I was into the music, this dancing, just whatever in her body. And Laura had asked her later, she said, do you know Loki's dances in your body? She said, well, Loki goes and howls outside in my neighbor's house. So it's pretty much say, you guys just do what you're going to do, and I'm used to it. But yeah, she looks really, but that's where she gets her download, and she feels like goosebumps, and the message hits, you just know that's what you're supposed to be there. And her helping her ex-husband, it's helping him tremendously. And every message so far has been for him, and it has been wonderful.
Okay, Dawn said she feels connected on some days. She often feels energy, positive or negative, and often have to leave areas with negative energy because of the horrible effects it causes on me. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's also a good thing, your body telling you to get out of there, because it's not going to help you.
Well, exactly, because that's what because Dawn has a real empathetic, compassionate heart. Her heart is always out, so she's always going to feel everything, and just hits that much more. And she's somebody that everybody will go to talk to, and it gets too much. I feel she has to be alone. Like I can handle it for here, but then I have to have my space. I got to have that space, because she's got so many abilities. She's got so many, and Archangel Raphael's always by her, always. There's a lot of green around her, and he's always there. And that, but sure, her guys are teaching her when to leave, and then she's opening up and she's listening, and that. So Dawn is going back and forth, but she is getting downgrades even when she doesn't feel like she is. She is always getting upgraded.
Cassidy said, it's good to be aware of it. You are so powerful. You can consciously shake or brush off energy that doesn't feel good. Protecting our personal energy is so important when we are sensitive. Absolutely.
Right. Well, at the end of this, I would like to teach the white bubble technique for those that do not understand the white bubble technique. Okay. So before we end the live, I would like to do that protection for some people that wouldn't understand. And you can put this bubble on you. When I can actually maybe just go ahead and just describe what it is, since Destiny did mention that it's an energetic bubble that we just put around, the human, and it protects you from energy. And you can put this bubble on you whenever you feel you need this on you, because you do have to ask for this protection. It just does not come to you. You do have to protect yourself. So what you do is you just close your eyes, and you're just going to pretend you're like in an open field, this beautiful field. And you're going to see a lot of hills, but lots of, it's a most beautiful place you've been. The sky is absolutely gorgeous sky. And then, but in the middle here, this most beautiful heavenly light just comes out, hits your body. And you feel it just kind of going through you, like all over your cells and your molecules. You just feel it, and you feel this warmth inside. Then you see the bubble that is from inside going outwards to this white, beautiful bubble. And it can look like something different from everybody, but it's going to be like white, goldish, bluish, whatever color. But and it looks like a bubble from Glenda the Good Witch from the Wizard of Oz, and it's going to look like that. And you should feel this and feel protected. And in your space, nobody's around you in this space. You're protected in your space. And when this bubble's around you, your space is protected. So anytime you have to go here to redo this, you can. You can do this how many times a day you feel that you need to do this. And that is how we put the white bubble around us. And you should feel, you'll feel it. You'll just feel it just hitting. And it's in her body, I can feel it right now. So that's the white bubble technique.
That was good. We've got, Don said, I'm so humbled to hear this. I hide in my bedroom closet when I'm feeling overwhelmed. I cry, scream, breathe, meditate, whatever I need to feel like me again. I tell my family I feel like I'm going to be irrationally angry and need to step away. And thankfully, my family respects this.
Well, yeah, because she has, we're going to work on her energy Thursday. She's got lots of things, and I'm going to help her with that. And it'll help her not feel this overwhelm. And that, but if she does this white light protection, she's going to feel much better. She does not have a protection around her. So if she does this protection, she's going to feel a lot better. And however her emotions are, it's okay. It doesn't matter about your emotions. And I'm glad that your family is very open to this. When you're going through a spiritual awakening, you will go through a different virus. It can act like this. Angela, why don't you tell what you went through on your spiritual awakening? So maybe this would help Dawn understand what was going on with her.
Well, the day I had my main thing, I couldn't control anything. Like the words were just coming out of me, like hateful things. I was around a friend of my husband's. I kept saying she was going to kill me. I kept feeling like she wanted to kill me. I heard voices saying she was going to kill me. And that's not nice things to say to people, right? Especially people you don't really know, like, you're wanting to murder me, right? I couldn't control anything. Nothing made any sense. I felt like my radio was talking to me. They played Don McLean, American Pie. Today's the day you die. And I felt all this negativity. I saw a Jeep go by, and all of a sudden I thought my ex-husband took our dad's Jeep and he was coming to murder me. Everything was out to murder me. Everything. It made no sense. And I felt like I put on like a dress or something, and I ended up putting on a Motley Crue shirt, Shout at the Devil, right? And then they said something like I was going to die on my wedding day. It was terrifying. It was terrifying. And I absolutely could not control it until it was over. And then it was just over. So it's just not fun. And I'm glad that you're around family that can be aware and gentle with you, because I flipped this lady out. I don't know if we have much of a chance of being friends, and I don't blame her. But my poor husband, he didn't know what was going on. It was like a forced exorcism. It was like stuff was just coming out of me, and I could hear everybody. I felt like there was like 50 people in the room with me. There was 2. And they didn't see any of it. They didn't hear any of it. They didn't feel any of it.
And this was all after Michelle was 2 days when you guys were both Reiki masters. She was sending you energy for 2 days, and she was using the love symbol on you to get whatever out. And then that happened on a Sunday. Your dad calls Michelle up. She was in the vape shop, and he calls and said, your sister, something just happened to your sister, and I knew you were sending energy. What did you do? Did you kill your sister? And we remember that to this day. And she felt terrible, like, oh God, I killed my sister. But what had happened, that's how your teacher, Francine, at Enchanted Moments described it, would feel like an exorcism. She said in Reiki, you have to tell people. Well, she didn't tell you because she would have rejected it. So she didn't tell you. But your astral self was open to it. So that's why she did it. But that's what she said. You tell people, because if you just do that, but she said it could feel like an exorcism, and it was just releasing all this balled up energy. You had it all in your solar plexus, and it had to come out. So what you were experiencing was every fear you've ever had, every nightmare, it had to be released in some way. And that is how your body chose to do it and to get rid of it. And so that's what happened. And that, so Reiki is very powerful, but you do tell people, but we knew what you would do. She knew instinctively you would reject it. but it helped you afterwards when she told you what happened. You go, that's amazing. I
And it
can't
helped
believe
a lot
that.
of my Lyme disease problems. Like a lot of my chronic issues were just gone after that. I still had a lot of them, but a lot of them were just gone. And a lot of my bad memories were just gone.
Because it all was released. And since we don't do Reiki, but we do healing energy. So we do the same thing. We just do healing energy, well, angelic energy, because that's, Lucas said, that's what we do, Archangel Metatron, and we do angelic healing energy. And that, but if you are interested, because Jenny was interested in Reiki, I would highly suggest, she's a healer. So I would suggest that for her big time. And the teachers at Enchanted Moments are fantastic. And they were looking for people a couple weeks ago and that. So I would definitely check into that, because she's a hands-on, and because Reiki does help a lot. It does help people and that. But if you don't do that, but you do healing touch as well, as good.
Destiny asks, do you have any tips or tricks for those of us who struggle to visualize?
Feel it. Her son has troubles visualizing. So what you do is you feel it. Your senses are just working different. Like when you're meditating, so when I was doing that white light bubble, if you notice, I wasn't doing just visualization, that word, but doing feeling it. So you want to feel into it. So if she has a hard time, just feel into the meditation. She's really good instinctively on this. So Destiny knows how to just, she feels her way, like that is Teresa Caputo. This is what Teresa Caputo does. To give an example to those that want to know what I'm talking about. She doesn't see, but she feels. So that's what she can do, is just feel it. So when she's meditating, feel into the meditation. Where does it going to take her? How does it make her feel? And that's going to be really good for her, is how is it going to make her? Because when Michelle meditates, believe it or not, she feels. It's not really what she's seeing, it's more what she's feeling. And that, believe it or not, you girls are mediums, but when she meditates, she hears and she feels. So that would be my tip. Feel into it. And it's amazing, because that's also how you manifest. The more you feel it, you manifest, which explained Destiny how she manifests, because she feels everything. When you feel it that much more, and same with Jenny, she's a really good manifester. I'd say everybody on here is great manifestors. Because you have to feel the emotion as if you have it and you have it and everything. So that would be my suggestion, is just feel it. And you will. And in time, you may start seeing colors, you might visualize, but if you never do, that's okay. You just weren't meant to do that. Everybody's got different talents. So
she asks, am I a medium?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We kind of all are, right? We're meant to do this. We're meant to communicate with the divine creator.
Everybody's meant to have the third eye, and everybody's meant to be taught this. Other countries, like in India, for example, they teach from really little spiritual techniques and learn how to do this. So absolutely, she is a medium. She sees, when I say see, she feels it, but she kind of can see it in here, like you're watching television. You don't see them outward, but she kind of sees them in here. So she does when she's getting glimpses, and when she dreams, she's always passing people. So my suggestion would be get Archangel Michael to help you out, because he's very good. And once you tell him one time, it never happens. If you want to sleep and they're bothering you while you sleep, and they are bothering her while she sleeps, I feel she's kind of restless when she sleeps. That's because they see a light and they want to be passed. And if you want to pass them at a certain time, maybe before I wake up, 30 minutes before I wake up, Michelle does that. 30 minutes before I wake up, I'll pass any spirit that wants to be passed, as long as it's high vibration and not low vibrational. And when you do that, the archangel will set that rule, as well as your guides will set that as well. So she is. But yes, everybody on here, I would say, is a medium. Everybody on our live right now, and people will be watching later, you are mediums. You have some kind of psychic gift. It's just discovering and honing in to the particular gift.
And I would have a tip for visualizing. So I feel everything too. So if I'm with you and you're like, there's so-and-so, like we had a spirit yelling at me one day. So you're like, there's a spirit yelling at you in your face. So I have to close my eyes and I focus, I shut my senses down, and then I feel, right? And then after I start feeling, I will see dots. I focus in on a dot and really pay attention to that dot will start coming forward as a form of some sort, a person normally, as it come as a person, if it will allow me to see it. It does have free will, so sometimes it'll just be like, no, I'm not going to be anything more than a dot to you. but that helped me. And that's a visualization technique I've given to my kids to help them see, because I see it all as just dots. It's just an energy ball. And you really have to focus on it to start bringing that energy ball into your imagination.
And you can't be afraid of what you see. You cannot be afraid. And always ask them before you see for the high vibration. You don't want to see any negative vibrational. Angela had a horrible experience seeing this negative at first when you did see, and that because we didn't set that for you. And once it was happening to you, we had to set it afterwards, but you were going through the experience and that. So unfortunately, you have to ask everything you don't want. You ask first. Like if you are a medium and you want to see a spirit not out in front of you, but you ask to see it in here, and you will see it. And that's how Michelle sees right in here as a storybook. Sometimes out here. But and also, so ask when you are going to see a spirit, are they of high vibration and have discernment? Because you want to always have discernment in that, and watch your space as well, because they do try to jump you. So if you don't feel like that is you, then it's probably not. Somebody's trying to jump you, and you have to keep your personal space protected, which the white bubble will protect you from that. So when you are, there's a lot of protective measures that you do have to take. Don't be scared. Just know what you got. You just protect yourself. So because Destiny, I do feel she is a channel. I do feel she's got a female, and she has one that channels, and it's from her planet as well. So it's always talking to her. So she's always getting downloads, and that. But I feel the visualization. I can't say that word in this accent in her mouth, but I feel that would help her. What you do would help her as well. Yeah. Michelle just, when she does it, she closes her eyes, she feels into it. She'll see colors coming in, lights coming in different ways, and she'll hear voices. So she does it a little bit differently, but that's okay. Everybody does it differently.
Yeah. Destiny said, it's interesting. She's seen the dots forever. Yeah. So now start paying attention to those dots. That's cool. I love that you've been seeing. I never knew what they were until I started doing this. And they're like, what are you dot? And it'll come forward unless, again, it has free will to not show itself.
And and feel, and as well feel into it as well. Does it feel safe? Because if it don't feel safe,
you can feel male, female, what kind of role they play. You can feel all that stuff. Because again, we're a computer picking up light codes and sound waves. And we're computing that information. It doesn't know what's alive and dead. It's just picking up light codes and sound codes.
Right. That's really all it is human wise. Yes. That's all you are. That is really all you are. Yes. And it's easy to channel. So that's why you have to watch everything.
Yeah. Dawn said she feels like she's an empath or a medium. When her husband's father passed, he visited her that evening and multiple times since. She's been able to share things from him with her husband and her husband's mom and her husband's half sister and deceased siblings. She had a coworker's boyfriend visit after he passed in a motorcycle accident and was able to share personal memories and his feelings with her. She was the first non-family that she attempted to share it with, and it was scary, but also such a gift. Oh, absolutely. And it is scary telling people this stuff because they think you're crazy. A lot of people would rather think we're crazy talking to devils than you can communicate with God.
Absolutely. Well, people think, like us, for example, that's what we are. A lot of people think it's what we are. We're devils because you cannot come inside somebody's body and do this. But a lot of Abraham Hicks and that we've never tried. And all the time we've channeled, Angela, have we ever tried to hurt your sister or you? No, we have never tried to hurt any of you. So people have different abilities and bringing them out. And Dawn, yes, absolutely. Dawn is a medium, and that she's known since she was a kid. She's done this since she was a kid. And she probably didn't know what was going on. Nobody explained it to her, but she's been doing this ever since she was a kid, and she's still doing that and everything. But yeah, she's got but she knows how. But I'd rather, if somebody needs that message, it's good to just give it to them and whatever they think afterwards. And that, but the spirit lets you know at all times when it's ready, and she knows instinctively when it's time and that. So I love that. So I love that. Thanks for sharing that story. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Absolutely. So let's read like what today's thing has, and then do we want to pull cards, or just if anybody has a question, you want to do questions? What do you want to do?
I already pulled a card.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'll read this, and then you tell us what card you pulled, and if you guys have any questions, we'll stay on for a little bit and answer some questions. Right. So out of My Words to Live by Eknath Easwaran, we've got March 22nd, a quote from Mahatma Gandhi. Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. What counts most in life is not IQ, but WQ, a will quotient. No one can plead that he or she lacks will. There is will in every desire. Every desire carries with it the will to bring that desire to fruition. When it comes to something we like, we have all the will we need. Someone says, hey, come on, we're going skiing. And that's enough. We will get out of bed at 3 a.m, drive for hours, stand cheerfully in the snow waiting for the ski lift, and in general suffer all kinds of discomfort with a will of iron. Yet as small a challenge as a letter to Aunt Gertrude will find the will against us. To control our destiny, we need to harness our will to do not what we like, but what is in our long-term best interest. If the will is strong enough, great things can be accomplished. If the will is weak, very little. In every endeavor, it is the man or woman with a firm will who excels.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense.
Wow, I like it.
Yeah, I like that one.
Me too. So what did your card say?
Okay, well, this is from her new deck, Sacred Light Oracle. And this is one, I love this deck. And this is the card I pulled out. It's called Cosmic Gateway. Insecurities, connection with others, and refocusing. And this is what this beautiful card looks like. I'll put that up more. And what it says here is the Cosmic Gateway, a portal that connects souls to the universal multiverse, is accessible via trance states and meditation through our central light column, opening the cosmic gateway to the soul's sacred light. Like a flower, nurturing and care of its environment allows the soul to bloom in its own precious time. The path to self-realization is filled with conscious awakenings, which is perfect for this live right now. Our mind is a powerful tool that, when fully open and activated, can connect our being to light sources unimaginable to the naked eye. When the sacred light of the cosmic gateway shines upon the world, the individual acceleration of self-awareness through self-realization can reveal the body's capability of healing itself. Ascension Master Yogananda announces that you are in a time of great personal change and growth. Don't be afraid to start over again or of finding fresh ways to support the life you want with joy and happiness. If you feel overwhelmed, reduce excessive workloads as you work through the process. Yogananda suggests practicing self-realization as you work through any feelings of sadness or melancholy you have about the past or what you are seeking to change. Challenge yourself to try new things or join a self-help group that aligns with your global or personal interests. And the saying is, balance will restore when the mind is restored. Ascension Master Yogananda. And it suggests sacred crystal when you're having troubles, rondonite, and the affirmation, I am my own master. I hold the answers within me. My energy is limitless.
I love that.
Yes.
It's wonderful.
Really...
Dawn said that I'm reading what she said. It's hard for me to change all these pronouns in my head. My brain's not that good. So I had what my parents called my imaginary friend, whom I called little boy. I also often saw ghosts in a 100-year-old home in Cincinnati. Also had spirits visit in an older home in Norwood. Since being baptized, though, the visions and visitors seem less.
Well, they're probably of low negative energies. When you're baptized, they usually don't come around. So that's probably what happened. So she probably, her guides were because Archangel Michael, when you are baptized, he's around you regardless if you are or you're not. When you are, the archangels really hit heavy, so that's probably what happened. But they were probably of low level energies, but she was witnessing and seeing. So it all stopped, and that's for a higher vibration. You still have to hold discernment, but that's probably why that stopped as much as it did.
Happened with me. I saw the low vibration stuff, and then we got baptized and I didn't see it anymore. And then I started seeing all the high vibrational stuff. It's like it erases that from you. Like, nope, you're separate. You're cleansed.
Well, I will say Michelle, being baptized as well, she still sees all of that as well. She sees because she's asked to see that because her best friend, he's a demonologist. So she sees all of that. She's asked to keep that, because when you do, some people don't want to see all of that. She's like, so she sees, sees all of that. And he's met Loki. We've all met Loki, so we all know how that goes. So she volunteered to keep seeing at the lower. So she'll see things that, her kids say, I don't want to see. She will see it and go there and see it. And some of these things are like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But that's sometimes how the spirit is showing themselves to be passed. So she tries to stay open. If that's how they want to appear to her, that's how she'll go ahead and do it. But some people don't want to see it that way, but she just volunteers it.
Perfect. So do you guys have any questions?
Yes, because I got the cards right beside me just in case. So
Yeah, I've got some cards next to me. Our
you
next
do the next one
live
then.
is the 24th. We've got our Ask Lazarus and Lucian on the 24th at like 7 o'clock.
Right. Well, basically, you should just call it the Loki show.
Yeah. Yeah. He's been busy. He's
Yeah.
been busy. And our next
Yeah.
Tuesday teaching, what day would that be? April 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'd be April 5th. And we were going to teach on like time and multiverses and how can I exist as multiple people in one time. That'll be fun.
Well, and that's with the Loki series. They were trying to tap into that. They were trying to tap into that as much as he doesn't like to hear about that, but they were trying to tap into multiverse, and that's real interesting. And it's about time. So we would like to really get into that, so you understand when we say multiverse. So you understand your place here in the realm and how this is all going on. So this will be a very fascinating subject. We've been wanting to do this one for a long time. So
I'm excited. Destiny said she just loves and appreciates us so much. Thank you, Destiny. I appreciate you. You're like a spiritual badass too. I'm really proud of you.
that's how I would describe her.
Yeah, she's a spiritual badass. Don said, weird ask, really bad blood work came through yesterday. So worried about recurrence of major health issues.
Well, that's what I keep seeing with her. Well, I will tell Dawn, my suggestion is, and I get it, you're understandably worried, but the more you worry, you bring more of it to you. So even though you are having all of this happening, because I can see it, I see it around her, and what she really needs to try as much as she can, optimistic, because what does it shows the universe when I say I am healthy, I am, and that's what'll happen. The universe has to give you what you're asking for. So that is what it is. She's manifesting because she's a great manifester, but you can also manifest what you don't want in that. But when you're have an illness, I'm not saying you're manifesting that. But when I'm saying like blood work and things like that, sometimes that's what, and I feel, but that's what the guides are showing me. She was thinking the worst, got the worst. So, but if she would think, but I think I see an up for her though. I do see with Dawn right now, an up. So she's just got to be patient, but I do see an up on her health though. And that there's going to be something mentioned to her about, because I'm seeing something mentioned to her about something she's been looking for, some kind of solution. I do see that. It's going to come in the future, but I do see something that she's been asking for the universe for, and that. But so you are okay, Dawn. You are okay. But when you're like waiting for results, I know it's difficult. Because we're reciting her body, and we understand. And I've been human, I get that. So just try to stay as positive as you can. It's going to be a great outcome. It's going to be this, and this. And if it is not, what is the universe trying to tell you? Because everything's a lesson, good or bad, and however. So she is, but everything, so she's healthy. She's still she has a lot of attachments. She's got a lot of, because she does see a lot of attachments, and I'm going to clear her Thursday. And on this live, if anybody would like, once again, we will do a clearing Thursday nights. Anybody to sign up for that. We do have a list. Anybody's interested, we would do this for free. We do not charge. And Dawn's volunteered, and I will get rid of some of the stuff for her to help her. She's having a hard time manifesting lately because these things are sticking to her. So I'm going to help her get that. And that way she can manifest. It'll be manifesting better things for her. Perfect. So I hope that helps Dawn out. I hope that helped Dawn out.
You do too. All right. Any last minute anything? Like 108. I had a gluten-free blueberry waffle, and I'm very thankful that someone finally made a gluten-free blueberry waffle that tastes like a real blueberry waffle.
Well, you put that in the universe, and that's kind of
begged, and it's right. Good, and I love it.
Well, that's like Dawn. That's what's going to happen for Dawn. Something like that's going to happen for her, just like that. She's going to put it out, and it's going to happen for her.
Destiny asks, is it selfish for me to ask for another clearing? Oh, no, not at all.
No, honey, I'll clear you every week if you ask me. I don't care. We're good.
Dawn, so much. She loves us both so much. You're welcome, Dawn. Prayers for you. Got you. We'll send you some good energy. Jennifer said, I wake up in the middle of the night chanting, I am love, I am light, I am divine, I am a healer. I guess my guides do not want me to forget. I believe we are the power of our thoughts. Yes.
Absolutely. Well, her spirit guide, Mikkel, which she's talking about, absolutely trying to instill in her that because of everything that she's been through, wants to remind her that she's got a lot of guides. She's got a lot of ancestral. I see a lot behind her. And I'm not giving, because she wants to meditate and get this information herself. So I'm not giving her any information. That's why I worded it the way I worded it, because I do honor those that do want to, she does want to get the names, but she's got a lot of spirit guides. And they always want to remind her of that. Just, you are loved. And she wakes up because her energy is so vibrant. And our daughter said, and her son said, oh, her energy is wonderful, fantastic. She's so happy. And that it looks like she could just sing a song, just, but not destroy it like Loki will, but she has beautiful energy. So yeah, he'll destroy a song. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, I think I'm going to fill up my water and pee and eat something.
And this is Marcus, and I'm glad that everybody here today. Thank you for joining us. And this be that spark of love. Everybody here that watches us now or watches us later, you're always a spark of love, and it means a lot that they started off with debating whether to bring us out or not. So, and this is just, they decided, hey, let's just go ahead and go do this. So we're very honored to teach. We love to teach. However we can help, we want to help. However, that is what we're here to do. We're messengers from the great divine, and we want to help. They want to help as much as we can. However we can help, you let us know. And there's so many different guides. You need any sort. We're all here. We all work together in some ways. Some of us destroy things a little bit more, but we're all here for one another, and just give love, unconditional love to everybody. Be love, be that love that Jesus, when he walked, be the way, however the way shows you to be the way, just be that and that. So, but everybody here is so beautiful. I give you hugs and kisses, and give yourself a pat on the back and whatever, and just enjoy this. Well, it's kind of cloudy, but just enjoy your day, however you wish to enjoy your day or your night, whoever's watching this, just enjoy that. And just know you're a blessing and you're loved. Always, you're never alone. You're always, I feel somebody needs to hear that. You're never alone. You're so unconditionally loved.
Absolutely.
That's just what she says.
Yeah. She's like, I love you.
That's what she's saying.
Hush, dude. All right. We love you all. Thank you so much for joining us. And we hope you enjoyed it. I think you guys did. I love it. Thank you guys so much. We will see you in our next live.